go ahead and in your seat, we're going to work on our feet a little bit before we get started. If you'll take one of your feet in your lap and take one of your hands and just kind of start massaging the bottom of your foot with your knuckles. And as you do that, just kind of working out any of the connective tissue in your feet and creating some space there, creating some circulation. Let me turn my, there we go. So a lot of you have practiced with me already this week and know that this past Wednesday was not only Earth Day, but it was the new moon, beginning of the lunar phase. And the new moon is such a lovely feminine energy. It's a very gentle energy. And so in the days following the new moon, it's important to really take care of yourself and to nurture yourself. Not just physically, but emotionally, and just make sure that you're speaking kind words to yourself. So make sure you're kind of pressing hard into the arches of your feet. This is a good thing to do at bedtime and to do like coconut oil and essential oil on your feet. I wouldn't do it before you practice yoga because you'll be sliding all over your mat. But at bedtime, you can use oil. Make sure you get down into the heel. And then once you've got kind of the whole surface area of the foot, take your hand and try to wiggle one finger between each toe. So you're like you're interlacing your hands together, but you're trying to interlace a foot and a hand. And it is not easy to get your fingers between your toes. But try. Because I want you to create some space between your toes and kind of go side to side and front to back just to work the feet. So kind of pulling off that Earth Day and new moon energy, it's really important for us to be grounded and to feel our feet touching the earth. And when we are grounded, we feel safe and we feel nurtured. And I think that's a really important part of just being in tune and being in touch with our own physical bodies, because that helps us so much be more sensitive to each other and just be more sensitive in general. And I don't mean sensitive in a negative way, I mean sensitive in a very receptive way. So go ahead, we'll switch feet, shake that foot out and do the other one. Start to massage using the knuckles of the hand on the foot, and putting a good amount of pressure on there if you can. As you press, you might feel some sensitive areas, some tender areas. That's good, that's okay, you can work that area. The bottoms of the feet are all have different pressure points related in reflexology that stimulate different organ systems in our body, the different body systems. And so it's creating stimulation in those systems and bringing circulation to the legs and to the feet. Go ahead and work down towards the arches of your foot, and that's a tender area in there. The adrenal glands are located around, if you feel a tender spot in the arch. And for most of us, our adrenal glands are a little bit overdrawn right now. That's our stress hormones. Work down to the heel. And the heel is a little bit harder to put pressure on or to feel. So if you do this, it's maybe you could find a golf ball, a tennis ball. You could also work your feet with that for a little bit more intense pressure. And then we'll go ahead and try to get your fingers between the toes on this foot. Notice they'll be a little different. If you do have a bunion on the inner edge near the big toe side of your foot, press the thumb into that bone like you're pushing towards the pinky toe side of your foot. As you push that, pull your big toe towards you. I should have told you that on the other foot. But you can, again, kind of make circles, go forward and back, side to side, just getting the toes a little bit more space. So I want to focus on creating that grounded, nurturing energy in this practice. And, hopefully this practice in general grounds you. It is a safe space for you to get in touch with your breath and your body. And each breath is an opportunity to be present, but to be present with whatever energy is you want to create, whatever you want to manifest in that moment. And right now I want to focus on that nurturing energy. So being sweet to yourself, not judging yourself, not criticizing yourself, but just finding gratitude for showing up today, being willing to get on your mat. Go ahead and shake that foot out, and we'll take a nice seat. So if you are comfortable sitting with your legs crossed, you can do that, legs out wide, or if you want to sit up on your heels. If you're sitting up on your seat, turn your thighs in and back. So you widen the sits bones, you widen the flesh of your butt back. It gives your low back and your side bodies some room. And go ahead and bring your thumb and your middle finger and your ring fingers together. So 3 fingers together in this mudra pressing. It's thumb, middle finger, and ring finger. And then just place your hands on the thighs. Sitting up tall, close your eyes. And just deepening your breath, closing your mouth and breathing through your nose. Kind of scan your body and just notice where the breath is moving. Hopefully you feel it into the ribs on all sides, into your belly and into your back. And try to envision your breath moving even deeper down into the hips, into the pelvic floor. As you inhale, you're expanding the belly. The pelvic floor expands down towards the floor. As you exhale, the pelvic floor draws up, the belly draws in and up. And imagining the breath moving out through your arms to your fingertips and down your legs to your toes. Bringing nourishment to each cell. Bringing compassion to each cell. And then envisioning your breath as energy, expanding and contracting 9 feet out from your whole body, and not just up or out to the sides, but down into the earth as well. You can envision that energy as a bright white light or soft yellow light, and expanding and contracting this nurturing, loving, kind energy. Let your eyes be soft. And if you notice any place in your body that feels specifically tight or maybe painful, for the next couple of breaths, I want you to focus on sending the breath to that space. Maybe in your hip or your knee, your shoulder, your back. Send kindness and love to that place of discomfort. With your next breath in, reaching your arms out and up overhead. And as you stretch up, feel your hips rooted and grounded towards the earth, and you lift up tall from there, hands together and to heart center as you exhale. And just setting an intention for yourself for this practice. This intention of being sweet, of being gentle, of being kind, towards your physical body, towards your heart and your mind, being as loving as you possibly can with each movement, with each breath. We're drawing that energy in and radiating it back out. Take a full breath in. And exhale, bow your head. And lowering your hands softly, blink your eyes open. And hands on your knees or on your ankles. So depending on how you're sitting, just hold on to something, and we're gonna start to arch and round, bringing your chest forward, your shoulders back. You should feel your pelvic floor tilt back. And then as you exhale, you're rounding, your pelvic floor tilts forward, your heart moves back, your shoulders roll forward. And inhale, heart space forward, close your eyes, and as you exhale, round. So ideally, trying to keep the head in one place, the chin neutral, and really you're just moving the spine through this arch and round. So one thing that I find about being gentle, practicing being gentle with myself, is really a lot about my own inner talk, my own inner mantra. And I think we're all pretty hard on ourselves. And so I want to focus on that as we move today and breathe. Keep your arching and rounding, keep breathing, keep your eyes closed if you can. And maybe each breath, you're just repeating whatever your intention is, kindness or love or compassion. Another one I like to use is Sat Nam. So on the inhale, Sat, on the exhale, Nam. It's just very rhythmic. But Sat Nam is just Sanskrit for true essence. And that's really what we're searching for here, is to honor who we are at the core of our being and to allow that to radiate, to shine, and to nurture it. We want to nurture our true essence, not the false negative self-talk that we tend to get ourselves into saying. A couple more times, arching and rounding. And it takes practice to talk to yourself in a positive, loving way. We have to do it on a regular basis, and our mat is such a good place to practice this. Good. Next, inhale, sit up tall, and exhale. And open your eyes if they're closed, and arms just out by your sides, and take your left arm and reach it up and over. That's your inhale, right hand down to the floor. And as you exhale, you're going to take your left hand down and your right arm up and over. So inhaling, left arm reaches, and exhale, right arm reaches. Again, eyes closed so you can really feel the earth beneath you, your hips and your legs, wherever they're touching, your hand as it touches the floor. So you're growing roots, you're getting stronger, and saying that inner mantra, that self-talk. Breathing. Try to keep the breath just in and out through the nose. It's a little bit more focused. Couple more times, lengthening through the waist and the sides. Finding a nice rhythm. Good. One more time, inhaling left and exhaling right. Good. Come back to center and placing your hands on your shoulders with the fingers forward and the thumbs on the back of the shoulders, and keep your elbows up, just level with your shoulders. So try not to let them drop down, and make sure you're not hugging the shoulders up to your ears. So keep a lot of space there in the neck. So as you inhale, I want you to twist your upper body to your left. As you exhale, I want you to twist your upper body to your right. And I like eyes closed here, and you can go as slowly or as quickly as you'd like. Mouth closed, breath nice and rhythmic, repeating that inner mantra to yourself and really breathing it in and out. Our cells respond to that inner self-talk. There's so much power to that energy. As you're doing this, just notice the muscles on your face. So try to relax between your eyes, your jaw, your ears, letting go of any tension. You're moving with a little bit more ease with each breath, creating space in the side bodies. One more time to the left, inhaling as you exhale to the right, and inhale, come back to center and lower your arms. Uncross your legs and bring your feet out in front of you and hands behind you. And lift your chest up nice and tall and take your knees to the right as you inhale and to your left as you exhale. Flex the toes. So finding a rhythm, finding a pattern with your breath. And then you get into it with what you're telling yourself in your head. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Couple more times. Just being sweet, allowing these hips to open up. One more time to your right and back to your left. Good. To center, and take your legs straight out in front of you in a nice wide V, and grab your right thigh and your right butt and widen that back, and do the same on the left side. If you're super tight in the hamstrings or the low back, you also might want to sit up on your blanket. So flex the toes and feel the backs of the legs on the floor. And you're pressing down, you're creating energy by pressing down with the heels and pulling back with the toes. Inhale and reach your arms up, so nice and long in the waist. As you exhale, turning towards the right leg and bowing forward. You might not come very far at all. You can let the fingertips touch the floor or the foot. As you inhale, come back up and exhale over to the left. Same thing. Notice how the sides are a little different. Inhale to center. Exhale to your right. So find a rhythm going back and forth. Inhaling always to center, exhaling as you come forward. And notice how a little bit more space happens with each breath. We're hinging at the hips, at the right here, not at your midsection. So don't just round your upper back. Really try to bring your chest and belly forward. Nice rhythmic breath. One more time, over to your right. And back to center. One more time, over to your left. And back to center, and this time as you exhale, come forward, hands to the floor. So you might be up pretty high, which is fine. Try not to round your shoulders or dump forward. You want to maintain a nice length in the spine. Flex the toes, and as if you had a magnet on your heart, drawing it closer to the earth. The earth is drawn to our compassion, to that energy, that rhythm of our breath. Full breath in and exhale. Go ahead and walk your hands back in and bring your legs back in by holding the inner thighs, and hands again kind of behind your hips. Lean back and cross your right ankle over the left thigh. So try to keep your ankles straight and your toes flexed. And if you can, scoot your left foot towards your butt, or pick your butt up and move your butt towards your left heel. Flex the toes, and we want to keep the chest up, so avoid rounding back. You want to lift up, head and heart, eyes opened or closed. Come back to your intention, recommitting to that intention of kindness, of nurturing your physical body, of nurturing your heart and your mind. This practice is just one way to do that. You think about all the other ways of the food we put in our body, what we listen to, what we watch, the company we keep. Taking good care of yourself, making sure that you are nurturing to keep yourself healthy and sane. And switching legs, let that left leg slide out and shake your legs. Bend both knees and now cross your left ankle over the right thigh, and you can scoot that right foot in or pick your butt up and move your butt forward towards the right foot. Flex the toes, broad across the collarbones, lift your heart, eyes soft but open. Deeper breath. And then sliding that right leg out, shake the left leg out a little, and we'll come onto our mats, hands and knees. So if you're on a hard surface, you might want to pad your knees with your blanket or towel, and place your hands right underneath your shoulders, pressing down through the finger pads. So being kind and gentle does not mean being lazy. We have to still really pay attention to the engagement of our muscles, the placement of our body in space. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, toes curled or tops of the feet down, whatever feels better. And close your eyes and start to arch and round your spine. So we've already arched and rounded in a different plane. So moving a little bit differently now. Just more sensitive to the movement. It's coming more from the heart space and the upper back, and just allowing the rest of the spine to follow, taking lead from that heart space. So your inhale as you arch, exhale as you round, eyes closed if you can. And moving with that sensitivity. To warm up those muscles a little bit more, increasing the circulation and the blood flow. Stimulating even the organs in our abdomen and the kidneys in our back body, the spleen, our gut. As you inhale and exhale, that contraction of the belly is like a massage to those internal organs. One more inhale and exhale. And coming back to a neutral spine, and curl your toes under and lift your knees up and lift your butt up, downward facing dog, giving some space to the backs of the legs and just noticing what's showing up today. And again, not judging, just being present with it, breathing with it. Go ahead and lower your knees back to the floor. Now bring them a little bit wider. Come up onto fingertips if you can on both hands and move your hips in circles. So gently moving in the circles, not forcing your knees or hips into anything painful. Go in the opposite direction with your hips. If there's a place that feels sticky, you might want to pause there for a moment and take a couple of deep breaths, sending kindness to that space. Moving your hips back to your heels, and stay up on fingertips if you want, or you can lower your forearms to the floor. Lower your chest towards the floor and try not to just drop your head. If your head doesn't touch, you might grab your block or your towel and place it under your forehead. But it also doesn't need to touch. Take a full breath in and exhale. Inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Really let go of any negativity, anything that is not nurturing for your body or your heart or your mind. Releasing it. Slowly coming back up through hands and knees, and curl your toes, and again lift your knees up, downward facing dog, stretching the backs of the legs. Take a full breath in And exhale. And lowering your knees to the floor. And keeping your weight in your left hand, take your right arm out to the side and up towards the sky. And maybe even look up towards your right fingertips. So that's your inhale. As you exhale, you're going to reach that arm out, back out to your right side, and then sweep the right arm through and underneath the left arm like you're reaching to the left side. So you're stretching that upper back. That's the exhale. As you inhale, sweep all the way back up. Your left arm is staying pretty much straight. As you exhale, sweep that right arm through to the left. And inhale, reaching back up. And as you exhale, reach back through. One more time, reaching out and up. Turn to look up if you can. As you exhale, this time reaching through to the left, lower the outer right arm, right shoulder to the floor, and right cheek, forehead to the floor. If that's too low for you, you can use the blocker blanket under your head or shoulder. So your right palm is facing the sky. Walk your left hand a little forward, and you're twisting to look up underneath that left arm. Take a full breath in and out. Notice how your breath is a little bit different in a twist, but again, creating that massage effect in the abdomen. Good. Press into the left hand and come back to center, hands and knees. So you're going to keep your right hand on the floor this time and take your left arm out and up, left and towards the sky. Maybe look up. As you exhale, sweep that left arm through towards the right. You're reaching and stretching the upper back. Inhale, sweep out and up. Look up if you can. Exhale, moving with that kindness. Inhale, sweep out and up. As you exhale, sweep through. And one more time, reaching up. And exhale, sweep all the way through, and this time lower down onto the outer left shoulder. Palm is face up. Walk your right hand forward, the elbow lifts, and turn towards your right. Maybe even looking your eyes up towards the sky a little bit more. Full breath in. And exhale. And pressing into that right hand and coming back to center, hands and knees. Curl your toes under and lift your knees up off the floor, downward facing dog. And notice how your dog changes. A little bit more spacious, a little deeper breath, a little bit more grounded, pressing the fingers and the toes. And then lower the knees back to the floor and hands and knees, and take your right leg straight back with the ball of the foot on the floor, pressing through the heel. So hands are still under the shoulders, belly is toned, and then lifting that right leg parallel to the floor, lift your chin and your gaze. So that's going to be your inhale. As you exhale, pull the right knee and your nose towards each other. Inhale, lift your chin, straighten that right leg back like you're stretching through the toes. Exhale, hugging in. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and one more inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, stretch that leg straight back, but lower the ball of the foot to the floor. And then turn your left fingertips to the left a little and turn your left toes off your mat. So it's like a little kickstand to the side. And then pivot your right heel to the floor parallel to the back edge of the mat and lift your right fingertips up off the floor and either to your hip, your heart, or reach that right arm straight up towards the sky. Now look down at the left hand, press the fingertips gently, kindly into the earth, and then draw that energy up and radiate kindness out through your right fingertips. Put a little bit more weight into the outer right foot, that pinky toe side of the foot, and extend your right arm up and over your ear. Full breath in and exhale. And coming back through hands and knees. Take your left leg straight back, pressing through that inner heel, belly pulls in and up. And then lifting the left leg parallel to the floor, lift your chin, your gaze up. So that's your inhale. As you exhale, hug knee and nose towards each other. Inhale, extend. And hug in as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug in. And reach. Lower the ball of that left foot to the floor. So now turning your right fingertips to the right, your right toes kick off like a kickstand and left heel pivots to the floor, turning open now to your left. Look down at that right hand to press the fingertips and then stretch up, look up through the left. Full breath. Put a little bit more weight in the outer edge of the left foot, feeling grounded and strong. And reach over your ear nice and long with the left fingertips. And coming back around through hands and knees. Place your hands well, hands shoulder distance, toes curled, lift your knees again, downward facing dog. Peek back at your feet and make sure they're only inner hip distance apart. So ideally you would fit just a fist between your big toes. Not really any wider than that. Bend your knees and lift your butt high up in the air. Lift your heels up high and then let the heels lower with gravity, making the legs a little straighter. Lift your right leg up and back. Stretch that right heel towards the wall behind you. Lift your shoulders forward a little bit. Just look forward, make sure they're level. And then lowering the right leg down and lifting the left leg up and back. Stretch through that left inner thigh. Stretch back through that heel. Lift your armpits a little. Draw the belly in. Full breath. And exhale. And lowering your left foot. Slowly walk your hands back to your feet. So if you can't touch the floor, even with just bending your knees, grab your blocks or whatever you've got for blocks, and then press your toes down, create arches. Bodhi's having a party over there. Hi, Bodhi. And then work your legs a little straighter. Lift your butt up. And hands can come to your shins or thighs as much as you need. Inhale, lift halfway. So those shoulder blades draw onto your back. And then bow forward, hands back down if you can touch. And inhale halfway. Hands to shins are, it's ideal really. I mean, that's better for me too. And bow forward. And inhale halfway. Your eyes are looking at the floor. And bow forward. Walking your hands forward, back into your downward facing dog, and shifting forward into plank. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, lower your knees and thighs, hips, and belly as you bend your elbows, lower all the way down. We'll prop up on forearms, so elbows come right under your shoulders, and pressing the inner edge of the wrist down. You want to press the index finger and thumb down, and then lift your chest, ribs, and belly button away from the floor. And eyes soft or maybe closed. And envisioning that energy that you're drawing up from the belly button into your back body. Strengthening your core. Strengthening yourself with that kindness and with that compassion. Come back to that inner mantra, Sat Nam maybe. You can stay just like this. If you want to add on, lift your hips and your thighs up. So your butt's almost as high as your upper back, but keep pressing the inner edge of the wrist down. And with your next exhale, lower hips, thighs, and belly, and chest, and bring your hands for cobra. So hands a little bit wider, and fingertips press down and pull back. Press the tops of your feet down. Draw your belly in and make space across your collarbones as you inhale and lift. It doesn't have to be high at all. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. And exhale, lower. Remember, you're moving with that nurturing energy. Press the feet, squeeze the heels in towards each other. Belly in, lift your heart, and lower down. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Bring your hands back to the mat. Curl your toes. Come through hands and knees and back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and exhale. And walking your feet forward to your hands. So again, use the blocks or whatever you've got for blocks. And at the front of your mat, make sure your feet are inner hip distance apart. Just a fist could fit between those big toes. And then with your knees bent, press the toes down, create arches, and work the legs straighter. Your butt is ideally right over your heels. Inhale and lift halfway, hands to the shins. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift a little. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees and step that right foot all the way back and quarter turn to your right. So you're in really wide stance here. Your feet should be parallel. Don't let your toes turn out at all. Make sure they're straight ahead or even slightly turned in, and bend your knees a lot, so get your hips lower. Fingertips can be on floor blocks, or maybe they're up on a chair. And go side to side with your hips. Go slowly, move with kindness. No need to force or create any pain. Breathing a little slower, a little deeper. And then coming back to center and working your legs straight or lifting your butt up. Again, hands on the blocks or floor, bow forward, head and heart. Inhale, lift a little. Exhale and bow. Inhale and lift a little. And exhale and bow. Good. Quarter turn back to the front of your mat through left lunge and step your right foot forward. Inhale and lift your belly and chest. And exhale, bow forward. Stepping your left foot all the way back, lower your left knee to the floor. So blocks are helpful here. You might move your left knee back just a tad bit more than you think. So it's behind the left hip. And then start to move your right leg straighter, lifting the toes and the ball of the foot. That's your inhale. As you exhale, shift forward, bend the knee, lift your heart and your chin. So inhale and pull back. And exhale, forward. Inhale and pull back. And exhale, forward. Good. Lifting your back knee up off the floor and stepping the left foot forward, stepping the right foot all the way back. Lower that back knee, pat it if you need, and move it back a tad bit. And then as you inhale, start to move the left leg straighter, pulling back on the toes. And exhale, heart forward, chin up, gaze up. And inhale, left leg straighter, doesn't have to straighten all the way. Exhale, come forward, draw the shoulder blades onto your back. And one more inhale. And exhale. Good. Lifting your right knee up off the floor and step your right foot forward. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Stepping your left foot back again and lower your left knee. This time, bring your hands to your front thigh, shoulders right over your hips. And if you can, scoot that left knee back just a tad bit so it's not directly under your hip. Stretch your arms up. Full breath in. As you exhale, bend your elbows out to the sides wide. Pull the belly in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale this time, twist your upper body open to your right. Arms are parallel to the floor. Lower your right hand towards the left thigh and left arm reaches up. So you're a little reverse twist, lunge here. Full breath in. And as you exhale, take that left hand down to the floor a little bit wider than your mat maybe. Roll your shoulders back, turn to look up and reach that right arm up. Inhaling and exhaling, reach over your ear with the right arm. And bringing the right hand down inside your right foot. So some of you can move your right foot to the right one footprint, might be helpful. And then lower your chest, but lift your butt up and back. So I want you to get your chest a little lower than your thigh, than your hips if you can. And walk your hands forward and push the floor away from your face. So your butt moves back away from your armpits, from your hands. Full breath in. And exhale. Full breath in. And exhale. And walking your hands back in, and on either side of that right foot, lifting your left knee. Step your left foot in just a little bit and start to move both legs straighter. So you're still kind of wide between the feet, but both legs straighter. Ideally, the back heel is towards the floor, but if it's lifted, it's okay. Use the blocks under your hands to get your arms a little longer, lifting your belly and chest, and then bow forward. Bending that right knee, step your left foot forward, step your right foot all the way back. Lower your right knee and move that right knee back behind your right hip as you come up, hands to the front thigh, and stretch your arms up. So putting weight in that left foot, pulling back isometrically. Lift your heart, your gaze, full breath in. As you exhale, bend your elbows out to the sides. Inhale and reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. As you exhale, twist open to your left. Left hand down towards the right thigh and right arm reaches up. So come back to your intention, that breath of compassion, non-judgment. And bringing your right hand down to the floor a little bit wider. Turn open to your left, stacking the shoulders and reaching that left arm up. Full breath in, and as you exhale, stretch nice and long through the left fingertips. Inhaling and exhaling. And bringing your left hand down inside your left foot. So now walking your hands forward here towards that top right corner of your mat. Lift your butt up and lower your chest. Ideally, your left knee is directly on top of the left ankle, not forward. Push that floor away. Stretching your hips back away from your hands and your armpits. Draw the belly in. And walking your hands back in, and on either side of that left foot, lift your right knee. And step your right foot in just a little bit and start to move both legs straighter. So you're kind of lifting your sits bones up and dragging back with that left ball of the foot, left big toe. Lift your belly and chest as you inhale. Exhale and bow. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Bending that front knee and stepping your right foot forward. Inhaling and exhaling. Bend your knees, hands to hips or thighs, shoulders back, and come all the way up to stand, reaching your arms up, gazing up, feeling your feet press into the earth, and you reach up out of that. Hands to your heart. Good. So a little bit of balance, and I can tend to get a little judgmental of myself when I can't balance. So don't worry, every day is different. The sides are different. If you need to hold on to the wall or something, feel free. Standing on your right leg, lift your left knee and just see what the balance is like right now, and see if you can breathe with compassion. Let your eyes be soft, your shoulders relaxed, your belly in. And then cross that left ankle over your right thigh. Start to move your hips back. Flex the toes. Notice your inner mantra. And coming up to stand, lifting that knee and lowering the left foot down. Shake it out. Standing left, lift your right knee. So be okay to wobble. But notice if you're holding tension or holding your breath. Let that go. Cross right ankle over left thigh. Start to move the hips back. Full breath in. And exhale. Coming back up to stand, lifting your knee and lowering that foot. Good. Shake it out and grab whatever you have for a strap. And take the strap behind you right at your hips, and make the strap just as wide as your hips, holding it with each hand. And lift your collarbones here, lift this up and wide, not back, just apart from each other, like your collarbones are spreading apart. As you do that, pull the elbows in onto your back body. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, make the arms a little straighter, but not 100%. Make sure you're not sticking your chest out, but pull the front ribs in, and then turn your head to your right. Pull back on that left shoulder. And then turn back to center and looking over your left shoulder. Full breath in. And exhale. And then turning back to center and release your strap to the side. And we'll come back to the front of our mat. And inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold. Stepping back to downward facing dog. Lifting your hips up, allowing the heels to lower. Inhale and exhale. Shifting forward into plank. Inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees, lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhaling cobra. And exhale, lower. Good. Curling your toes through hands and knees and downward facing dog. Full breath in and exhale. Good. Lowering your knees to the floor and grabbing your blanket or your towel. And I want you to roll it up. And depending on the thickness of your blanket, you'll have to adjust. And I'm sad I'm not there to help each of you get comfortable over this. We're not doing calf smash. If you want to do that, you're going to have to do that on your own time today. I want you to roll that blanket up and sit in front of it. And you might watch for a second before you get all in position. You're going to come back and lay over the blanket. So the blanket's going to come right across where the bra strap is. And you're going to let the shoulders and the head come back towards the floor. Your arms are on the back side of the blanket, maybe out wide. Your knees stay bent. So you're getting a good back bend in that upper mid back. If you have trouble getting your head, my shoulders are not touching, but the back of my head is on the floor. If it's too much, if you feel like you're dropping your head too much back, you might put something under your head, your block, or maybe another pillow or blanket. And if you're comfortable here with your low back, you're welcome to straighten your legs out. It should not create pain. Your low back should not hurt. You will feel a stretch across the chest. The upper mid back is, we're trying to move it in the opposite direction that we're normally in, rounded forward and creating space across the heart. And as you breathe, you're coming back to that intention, that inner mantra of creating a nurturing environment inside your body for each of your cells, for each of your organs. Creating a nurturing environment in your mind with that Satnam. Really breathing into the truth of who you are, who you're created to be. Created out of love, created with love, radiating love. And when we practice talking to ourselves with kindness and with love, it's easier to talk to other people with that kindness and with that love. Just allowing your breath to be slow and deep. Bend. If your legs are out straight, bend your knees, feet on the floor. And carefully roll to one side and press yourself up and move that blanket out of the way and grab your strap. And come all the way onto your back with your strap and place the strap on your right foot. So you can place it on the arch or ball of the foot or on your heel if you know that fancy strap way that I like. Hold your strap as low as you possibly can. So ideally, if the upper arms, your elbows are on the floor, try to keep that and hold the strap with one hand. Use the other hand to press that right thigh away from your face. And the strap hand is trying to pull your toes up and overhead towards the wall behind you. Extend the left leg out straight. So flexing the toes, both feet. Take a full breath in. And exhale. And just notice your body, whatever is touching the earth. And may you be making that connection with a kindness, with an awareness. Holding the strap with your right hand, take your leg and your toes up and out to the right. So towards the right shoulder, top right corner of your mat, pushing the thigh away from your face. So you're creating this engagement, but an opening. And we can open and create more space when we feel safe, when we feel strong. So it's important to feel grounded and to know those things that make us strong, that make us feel more connected. Bring your leg back to center and holding the strap with your left hand and roll all the way over onto the outer left leg. Stretch your right arm out to the side and look over your right shoulder. So both legs are straight. Take a full breath in and out. And coming back to center, take that right leg straight up. Full breath in. As you exhale, lowering the right leg all the way out next to the left. And bending your knees and placing the strap now on your left foot. Get the left leg straight up in the air and pressing that left thigh away with one of your hands, holding the strap with the other. Pulling the toes overhead, extend your right leg out. Shoulders back, back of the head on the earth. Again, just noticing what's touching and touching mindfully. Touching with that loving, kind, compassionate energy. Full breath in. And as you exhale, taking that left leg out to the left, so toes towards the left corner of your mat, left shoulder, push the left thigh away. Stay anchored and grounded in the right thigh, hip, and shoulder. Full breath in. And exhale. Bringing your leg back to center, holding the strap with your right hand as you roll all the way over onto the right hip. Left arm comes out and turn to look over your left shoulder. So both legs straight, toes flexed if you can, belly in, and notice your breath as you twist. Notice that inner mantra. Mindfully back to center with that leg, full breath in, and exhale, lowering that left leg all the way out next to the right, and releasing the strap and bending your knees and hugging your knees in wide towards your shoulders and rock a little bit side to side. And then placing your feet on the floor, grabbing your blanket or your block, whatever you've got, to slide up underneath your sacrum. So it's going to go right under your butt. Lift your hips up and place that blanket or the block right there and roll each shoulder back. Back of the head stays on the floor. You're welcome to stay here with feet on the floor or take your legs up in the air. If you prefer, you're welcome to take your legs up and put them on the chair or on a couch or your bed, or maybe take your legs up the wall if that's better. You don't even have to have anything under your sacrum. Maybe you hold your hands behind your thighs to keep your legs up. And with each inhale and each exhale, breathe in that compassionate, nurturing energy for your soul, for your body. Each breath we have this opportunity, whether we're on our mats or off of our mats, we have the choice of how we want to talk to ourselves, the energy that we want to create on the inside of our body and 9 feet around us in all directions, up and out and down. You're welcome to stay with your legs up. If you'd like, you can bend your knees and take your feet down to the floor. Lift your hips, slide out whatever you've got underneath your sacrum, and feet a little bit wider, and take your knees side to side a few times like windshield wipers. And then back to center, and taking your legs out straight on the floor, a little wider than your hips. Let your toes fall open. If it's not comfortable for you to lay just flat on your back, if you take your blanket and slide it up under your thighs, that sometimes is a little bit more comfortable for your low back and hips. Arms out by your sides and palms face up. Roll your shoulders back. And just scan your body. And come back to that place. If you felt any stiffness or pain when we started the practice, come back to that space and see if you feel that same sensation. Notice if it's changed at all. Take a full breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, just letting your body be as heavy as possible. Your eyes soft. Your jaw relaxed. Almost like you've got a weighted blanket on you. Your body just getting heavier into the earth. And the rhythm of your breath and your heartbeat, it syncs up with the rhythms of the earth. very slowly, start to deepen your breath and wiggle your toes and fingers. Maybe make circles with your wrists and your ankles, and then go in the opposite direction. And then bending your knees, feet on the floor, and roll over to one side and use that opposite arm and press yourself up to a nice seat and sit well. So sit however you're comfortable. Maybe the legs are crossed, maybe legs are out straight, but make sure you turn your thighs in and back. So you're sitting more grounded, more secure. And place one hand on your heart and the other fingertips to the floor. And just thanking yourself for taking the time to show up on your mat today. Thank yourself for showing up and loving yourself, for nurturing your physical body. Most of you know that this practice extends beyond the physical. It really helps to clear our thoughts and to see things with a more loving, compassionate, forgiving heart. It helps our words and our actions come from a place of love, from our true essence. May we take this intention with us into the rest of our day. May you continue to be kind and be gentle with yourself. Move slow so you notice the beauty around you. Take time and look at the clouds, look at the trees, listen for the birds. Bring your hands together at heart center. And take a full breath in, nurturing your body, each cell. As you exhale, releasing that energy back out into the world, radiating that kindness and that love. Each breath we have that opportunity. May the longtime sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within guide your way on. Sat Nam. From my heart to each of yours, always with love and gratitude. Namaste. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, it's me again. If you enjoyed this practice, please like, share, and subscribe. And consider supporting me by making a donation via Venmo or PayPal, or even going one step further and joining my ever-growing Patreon community, where you can have access to exclusive content like workshops, live stream classes, and more full-length practices before I release them to the public. Remember, it's support like yours that allows me to continue providing content to the yoga community. Also, I'd love to hear from you, so drop me a line in the comments section and look below for all details and links. Thanks so much.